How you guys doing? Welcome to the first of what I hope to be many Hairball Sundays, where I kind of get on my soapbox and tell you how I felt about some of the issues in the news over the past week. And I hope to have a new one of these each and every Sunday for you, along with my daily vlogs Monday through Thursday and my epic videos that I produce every Friday. The first story I want to talk about today is the passing this past week of Steve Jobs. Obviously, Steve Jobs has been a lot of things to a lot of people, but most importantly, Steve Jobs was, is, and always will be an icon within the internet community because of what his company has done to change the face of what we do today. Now, a lot of what was rumored on the internet is this is going to hurt Apple in the future. While it might hurt Apple in the short term because of speculation, I tend to disagree with that analysis. And I base that on these examples. Steve Jobs didn't invent the computer. He just made it smaller. Steve Jobs didn't invent the MP3 player. He just perfected it. Steve Jobs didn't invent the cell phone. He just made it better. There are a lot of things throughout Steve Jobs' life that he did not do. However, the one thing he did do is take the things that me and you use each and every day and try to combine them in a way that'll make our lives easier. There is one more thing that Steve Jobs did do that most people tend to forget. Steve Jobs handpicked Tim Cook to be his successor. And with that, I think the future of Apple is bright. Steve, you will be missed. Thank you for everything you were able to do in your short time here on Earth. Now, obviously, with the passing, there were a lot of tributes out there on the internet. You had the young man from Hong Kong who took the Apple logo and the face of Steve Jobs in silhouette and combined them. Twitter was also ablaze with a lot of interesting puns. A couple of the most witty ones that I saw was in response to the brand new iPhone 4S, which said it should be renamed the iPhone 4 Steve. Another one that I saw was a simple quote, "Rest in pixels." The best one of all came from Reddit to make a tribute compilation to Steve Jobs of girls naked taking photos of themselves with their iPhones. I'll post a link to that down below if you guys want to take a look. However, I will say it is not safe for work. If you don't want to get fired, wait till you get home. But one of the most interesting bits of commentary that I saw that came out of this was somebody wondering how many people found out about Steve Jobs passing on a device that Steve Jobs created. I actually found out surfing the web on my MacBook Pro. The next story I want to talk about deals with the Republican presidential candidate Herman Cain. Last week, Herman was asked what he thought about the Occupy Wall Street protest, and this is what he said, and I quote, "They're basically saying the government is supposed to take away from those who have succeeded and give to those who want to protest." And he goes on to say that's just not the way America was founded. And I tend to agree with his comment because we have a terrible time in this country trying to separate the fact from the fiction. And what that means is too many people confuse lazy with needy. A lot of the problems we deal with are people feeling that they are entitled to something without working for it. And that's just not the case. Now granted, there are people out there who are in need, and those people I believe should be taken care of. But the people who are out there for a free handout, those are the ones that I say, fuck you, get off your ass, and get a job. Now that might have been the best quote of the week. Now the next story has to do with the worst quote of the week, and I give that to Herman Cain. Man, he got the best and the worst. Later in the week, this is what Herman decided to say. Jealous Americans who want to play the victim card and want to take somebody else's Cadillac. Then he basically goes on to say, if you ain't rich, it's your own damn fault. I'll tell you the one observation I've made about a lot of these presidential candidates is they just don't know when to shut up. And I would add Michelle Bachmann to that list. And now the big winner of the week has to go to Major League Baseball. And the reason being is Major League Baseball has always been under scrutiny for being a slow, boring, mostly unexciting game, especially at the end of the season and through the beginning of the playoffs. However, this season culminated in probably one of the best endings of all time, with two of the most popular teams falling flat on their face, allowing two teams who were completely out of it at the beginning of September to scoot their way right into the playoffs. And that leads us to the first part of the playoffs, the divisional series, where out of 20 possible games, Major League Baseball ended up getting 19 of them, where 3 of the 4 divisional series went to a Game 5. Now what's that mean? Well, your baseball purist, your die-hard baseball fan, they're going to watch anyway. They're going to be there. But those do-or-die games where it's win or go home for both sides, they're going to draw in your average viewer who normally would not watch. So baseball, congratulations. You guys had an awesome week because you were able to do one thing that you rarely are able to do, and make it exciting. Alright guys, thanks for watching this week. If there's anything that you see in the news that you want me to cover and give my opinion on, leave it down in the comments below. Also, give me some feedback. Let me know what you thought of the show. You can leave that also down in the comment section. Also, make sure you check out the Daily Booth Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. It's all down in the litter box below. Make sure you thumbs up the video, click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I will see you guys next week.